I'm here with Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Colorado. I have Mandy McIntyre, the Manager of Events and Communications. And I also have Byron Grandy. You are on the Board of Directors.
On the Board of Directors, yes.
Excellent. And you also, run CBS.
ABC.
ABC.
Channel 7.
Channel 7 here in Denver.
Yep.
So would either of you like to maybe just kind of run down what does Big Brothers and Big Sisters do? I know we've all heard of it before,
Sure.
but what exactly do you guys do?
Yeah, we are the oldest at-risk youth mentoring agency in Colorado. So we provide one-to-one mentoring for youth between the ages of 7 and 12, low-income households, single-parent households as well, and pretty much match them with an adult friend who kind of helps them navigate through various struggles in life as kind of an adult friend to them, and also helps them with their educational success.
Awesome. And you've been involved off and on with the organization for quite some time now.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about, we were talking earlier, about since the early 80s, every decade I've had some association with the program now, since the early 80s. And look, I think the value of Big Brothers Big Sisters is the one-to-one mentoring. And that to me is the real value that the child gets out of this, the little, as we call them, and the big, that volunteers. It's quality time. It's 3 to 5 hours a week. It's the ability, and in certain circumstances it's less than that, but the ability to have someone to mentor, to talk to discuss things, and develop a real relationships. A lot of the things you'll see coming out of this program is long-term relationships. Mandy is a big sister, but I've talked to plenty in the program who've been there a big for 18 years or 15 years. And even now they're no longer a big to their little. They still have adult relationships moving forward for lifetime. So that to me is, I think, the value of Big Brothers Big Sisters and what it brings to the kids in Meaded.
Well, it seems like it becomes part of your life. You had mentioned that you even met your wife in the program earlier on.
My wife was a big sister. She was the Big Sister of the Year for 2 years. And yes, we met through the program, and I got to see firsthand the value that she would bring to that little.
And so, Big Brothers Big Sisters has been around since the early 1900s, correct?
1918 is when it started. So yeah, it's been around for a long time, so over 100 years.
And so how's the organization changed? How does it look now? Big Brothers Big Sisters from early 1900s now in 2012.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing that's different now these days?
Well, when it first started, it was just Big Brothers, so clearly we've added Big Sisters. And then merged the two programs together, so Big Brothers Big Sisters is now one entity. And I just think, over time, I think the concept has remained the same, which is just helping at-risk youth and giving them that adult friend that they need, and somebody to help guide them through trials and tribulations through life, and just be that one person in their life that's rooting for them and their success. And so I think overall our concept has stayed the same, which is kind of cool. But of course we've continued to serve more and more kids. So we've served tens of thousands of children over our history in Colorado especially. So
I think as you think about the program, again, the value of the one-to-one mentoring is something that will live with the program forever. It's evolved in some ways in the sense that now we try to do a better job of measuring the real value of what it's doing to the little as well. In other words, their ability to become a better adult, their ability to become a better student, their ability to make better choices, and our ability now to do a better job of measuring that success. How are they doing as it relates to their schoolwork now that they're in the program? How are they doing as it relates to their ability to go to school and the way they think of school because they're in the program? I think that's moving forward, how it evolves. But the core of what we do, the one-to-one relationship, to me, will live forever in the program because it is the real value of the program.
And so you both are bigs, so when you get into this program, does Big Brothers Big Sisters, you kind of get some training and some support yourselves to know how to help these kids in a better way?
Absolutely. A big part of what we do is providing resources or support to bigs, littles, and their families in order to make it, like Byron was saying, a lifetime relationship. So we know that that matters and that makes a difference. So we have support staff. So each match has a staff person that they connect with at least a couple times a month. And it's for the safety of the child and safety for the big and the families as well. And we also will help them with match activities. So we provide them with resources in the community that they are able to take advantage of. So whether that's sporting event tickets or tickets to plays or anything along those lines, they can definitely take advantage of those opportunities as a way to maybe show their littles something they haven't been able to see before, and also again just help them maybe with some resources they may need, whether that's tutoring or counseling resources, anything that they may be struggling with.
It's not about just making the match, it's about making the match successful. And that means Big Brothers Big Sisters is in it all the way. Mm-hmm. From the beginning of developing a match to working through the match and seeing the match as far as it can go. And the safety, obviously, of the children and the families involved in this is first and foremost. But that to me is, when we think about the program, it isn't just about making the match. It's about being a part of the match, the program being a part of the match throughout its life.
So it sounds like one of the cool things that makes this program really successful is that it's this long-term real relationship. It's not just, hey, come in, we're going to provide you a service for 6 months or something, and then you're gone and you never see the program again. I mean, you're there and you're really making this bond. As you said, later in life you may still know these littles, these bigs,
right.
Keep in touch.
Well, we talk a lot about what it does for the little, but I will tell you this, and I was not a big, but I will tell you, when you talk to most of the volunteers who've been a part of the program, they will tell you they feel they got much more out of it than that child did, because of the ability for them to give back and the ability for them to give. And I think that's the beauty of volunteering.
And I think in some cases maybe you even learn something from these kids. They have different ideas.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Absolutely. That's my favorite part about being a big, I think, is just I get to be a kid again. And so it's fun for me. I get to do things that I wouldn't normally do with them. And I think you see the world through a different set of eyes, which is also rewarding.
And so Colorado Gives Day is obviously about giving money and helping to support the organization. Of course, every nonprofit needs help with that. But do you need a lot more volunteers, a lot more bigs for the organization, or?
We always have a need for males, especially. We have about 70% of the kids that inquire about our program are boys, and only about 30% are girls. And then we have the opposite problem on the adult side, where we have about 70% of females inquiring about being a mentor and only about 30% of males inquiring about being in our program. So we always have a need for men. Of course, we always need the women, they're great too, but we absolutely always need males. So right now that's our biggest need, and the mentoring aspect.
And that's not a new story.
No.
I mean, that story, I can remember back, I was telling you earlier, when I used to do a segment on television back in the early 80s, trying to match littles and bigs, I can remember even back then saying, guys, we need your help. Mm-hmm. You need to come help the children of our future.
You deadbeat guys, stop watching
that's
football
exactly
and get
right.
out here and help these young boys that need some help.
That's the thing, though. I mean, you can then maybe go to a football game with your little, or do some activity around sports with the little, as opposed to maybe just sitting and watching. Go out and do something and bring somebody along who can really need the help.
Right, and it enriches your life at the same time. You get a little friend to hang out with, maybe changes up what you're doing a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very cool. And so there is some cool news. I heard you guys have raised quite a bit of money already today.
Yeah, we're almost up to about $22,000, which is amazing. So it helps a lot of kids. We definitely still need more help if possible. So we're really anxious and looking forward to the rest of the day. So very exciting though.
And so where does the money go toward with Big Brothers and Big Sisters when people donate?
So the money goes towards helping support that match. So what we were talking about, the trainings and the resources and all those things that we provide to our matches to help make those sustainable for the lifetime costs money. And so whether that's the resources we provide for staffing purposes or helping kind of littles with maybe some specific struggles that they're having, then that's really where our dollars go to. So we serve about 2,000 kids a year, and so we have a lot of kids to serve, which costs money.
Sure.
So the money is definitely put to good use, and it changes a life.
And so if someone wants to donate, where should they go to donate for you guys?
www.biglittlecolorado.org.
All right, great. And so do either one of you maybe have a story from your personal experiences with Big Brothers Big Sisters that you'd like to share of something that was really meaningful for you, or maybe an accomplishment that you had with one of the littles that you work with?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we have tons of great success stories. Maybe one that comes to mind just recently was that we had a match for quite a long time. They had been matched since the kid was pretty young, I think 10, and were matched through his high school and experience, and he was graduated, and he actually got into Colorado State University, where he's going to be an engineer. And so we had a story come in about him, and he talked about how he would not have gone to college if his big had not taken him on school tours, helped him with his application process, and kind of helped him navigate through that whole cycle, which can be overwhelming. And so it's just a great success story about how one male kind of influenced a kid into becoming a successful adult. So
I'll tell you one quick personal story. In the early 80s, I featured a child who needed a little. I went back about 10 years later to do a story, and that same little was now a big searching for a little. To give you a sense of how important the program was and the sort of value that they got out of it, this was someone who was a little in the program and 10 years later was now a big in the program, who wanted to give back in the same way that he got as a youngster. I think it says a lot about the program and what you can do, and the change in life that it can have for you is just being a part of it.
Well, it certainly shows that the longevity of the organization of looking at here in Colorado almost 100 years now, clearly is a program that people believe in, and it seems to be sort of infectious, that people want to keep doing it. So do you have that a lot with you graduate the program and these guys come back and want to be bigs? Is that fairly common?
I think it is, yeah, and that's something that we definitely try to instill in the children that we serve is, you know, you're getting something, then give back. So we really want them to become successful members of the community and give back what they received. So it's definitely something we instill in them. So yeah, we do see it a lot, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's incredible. It's so awesome to see organizations like yours that are really becoming a backbone of the community, that just year after year after year change lives and have such a great system. So we really appreciate what you guys do. And if you want to say the website again so people know where to give, that'd be great.
Sure, it's biglittlecolorado.org.
All right, well, thank you very much. And we are going to go to a break again. Don't forget about our celebration this evening starting at 5 p.m. We've got Barefoot Wine, Footers Catering, Colorado Licensed Beverage Association providing food and drinks. We also have some entertainment from the World by Road, and we're going to have a really fun night. So you should try to make it down here. It's a free event, and we're going to be going from 5 until 9 p.m. You can find the details on our website. Thanks a lot.